There are two main reasons why your first 100K is the hardest. But before we go into that, we can't fail to acknowledge that getting your first 100K feels like hammering a nail into a brick wall, especially if you're coming from exactly $0. It's difficult, but it's doable with the right tools, strategy, and time. And good news, the next 100K, it's almost like popping popcorn. If you're new here, please like and subscribe to the video if you appreciate content like this. Your first 100K is the most difficult because it requires you to do most of the heavy lifting in terms of contributing funds and remaining consistent and disciplined. For most people, a total overhaul of both your money habits and your mindset is also needed. Most of us go from knowing absolutely nothing to building out an entire foundation and plan. So let's begin with your money habits. The truth is that getting your first 100K is extremely difficult when you have no or very little money that earns you more money through compounding interest. This means there's little to add up to make your first 100K. On the opposite side, if everyone started off with $1 million, it'd be incredibly easy to then make 100K because of compound interest. When it comes to hitting this milestone, creating as large a leftover as possible between your income and expenses is unavoidable. You'll need this surplus to help drive you toward that goal. Remember, this is one of the reasons the first 100K is so hard. You are the one making and investing most of the money, and it's typically coming from your earned income, your day job. This can be a real struggle at the start of your career, especially if you live paycheck to paycheck, where your income and spending are fairly parallel. Even with low spending, it can be difficult because income is also low. However, starting from $0 or whatever level you're on to reach your first 100K, you have to increase the difference between your income and expenses. You can accomplish this by either lowering your expenses or increasing your income. The first thing to do would be to trim your budget as much as you can. Reduce any frivolous expenses and reroute that money toward your savings. Here are a few things you could consider if you need some examples. 1. Downsize your home or renegotiate your rent. While this isn't exactly easy, housing tends to be most people's largest expense. So if you can find a way to make it cheaper, you could return substantial funds to your pocket. Consider something like house hacking or getting a roommate to share the expense. 2. Look for cheaper deals on your bills. Do you really need the top-tier cell phone or internet plan? Could you save $30 or $40 if you downgrade it? 3. Use cheaper means of transportation. Buy a bicycle, walk more, use public transportation, or simply drive less to reduce maintenance costs and gas needed on your vehicle. 4. Cancel unused subscriptions. Do you absolutely need 4 streaming services? Cut the 2 you don't use as much and save the money. Cut or decrease the meal kit services, wine services, or even gaming and music services you use. 5. Reduce eating out or consider how to save money when grocery shopping. One of the biggest splurges in most budgets is how much we spend at bars, restaurants, and other recreational activities. Consider cutting back by eating more at home or reducing how much you drink when you go out. 6. Assess your hobbies and determine if they're too expensive. While we'd never want you to give up something you love, you may have to temporarily put it on hold to accomplish this goal, especially if you determine that you spend a good amount of money on the hobby. In the meantime, you could also take up another, cheaper activity. While cutting your expenses is the simplest and possibly quickest way to increase your surplus, it may not be the most effective method for you, because you can only cut so much, and there will always be a limit to how low your expenses can go before you feel excluded from life's pleasures. Instead, you can work on increasing your income. Assume your annual income is $20,000 and your expenses are $15,000. This leaves you with a $5,000 surplus to start your first 100K project. You could continue to try and cut your expenses or find a way to increase your income to $35,000 a year. That would have a much greater impact on reaching your milestone. To increase your income, you can consider the following. 1. Find a supplementary source of income, a part-time job, side hustle, freelancing, or whatever matches your interests and can make you a few bucks here and there. 2. Particularly when it comes to 401ks, 403bs, or other employer-sponsored programs, make the most of your contribution by maxing it out so you can take full advantage of your employer's match. 3. Invest in yourself and continue to learn. This will allow you to perform well at work, earn certifications, or increase experience, which could directly lead to earning bonuses, higher salaries, or even better jobs entirely. The more you can cut your expenses and increase your income, the faster and easier it will be to reach your first 100K. Now, remember we said that the journey to your first 100K was twofold? The first was that you would have to do most of the heavy lifting when it came to investing the initial dollars. The second part is that you must change your mindset. You need to be mentally prepared and understand that these kinds of milestones take time. When you want to reach your first 100K in a single month, year, or even 2 years, it becomes even more difficult because you'll be disappointed. You should also not be discouraged if it takes a little longer than expected. One thing is certain, in a real-time and real-life journey, with determination backed with consistency, persistence, and a whole lot of hard work, you can be successful at reaching this goal. No matter where you come from and the circumstances surrounding your life, no matter how much or little you know about personal finance or investing, you must have faith in yourself. If anyone can do it, so can you. What makes you less capable than anyone else? Why can't you achieve this goal if you're willing to put in the effort? Your first 100K is out there waiting for you. The snowball, according to Charlie Munger, will roll faster and faster until you can no longer keep up with it. Success breeds success, just as it does in life. Cash flow generates more cash flow. Similarly, wealth breeds more wealth. With the power of compounding interest, a 10% return on $1 million is 100K for doing nothing but sitting back and letting time be. This is why the next 100K is so much easier. Now your money works harder and harder for you, and you don't have to invest nearly as much of your own money as the initial 100K. As we mentioned earlier, your mental fortitude is just as important as the financial goal itself. We understand that we can't quantify our emotional state like we can our money, but we can tell you that without the right mindset, reaching your first 100K is all but a dream. The triumphs and setbacks along the way are what makes this achievement so special. You'll make mistakes, but as long as you get up, dust yourself off, and continue, you will reach your goal. Getting started is difficult, especially if you're in the beginnings of your career and funds are tight. When you're looking at your account and there's only $3,000 in there, you have to trust the process and continue investing. Remain focused and understand that you have to start somewhere on your wealth building journey. It might as well be here. Continue to learn how money works and strive to make more and save more while also spending less. Are you on your journey to 100K? Tell us about it. We'd love to hear from you. We hope you learned something new today. And if you got any value from this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel if you don't want to miss out on more money-related content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.